veterans, honored friends, dear friends and neighbors, I want to welcome you to the Lao Hmong Veterans Day 2022, a very special and meaningful day that we set aside to pay tribute to the Hmong soldiers that lost their life during the secret war in Laos. So many times we forget about our past, but it was a time that nearly 40,000 Hmong soldiers sacrificed, gave their life for freedom. I have a unique honor today, and that's to represent the governor with reading his plaque for the proclamation for today. But I think it is so important that we remember today those soldiers who served, and we remember their sacrifices, their service. But most importantly, let us never forget. I will be brief. Having General VANG House picture here is somewhat unique for a celebration. I made sure that we got it framed so it could be up. While I was looking, and I'm a kind of a history buff, I like to look back and see what a lot of the generals had to say. But I think General VANG House said a number of really unique things. He said, "It is my belief that every individual was put on this earth for a purpose. And that purpose is different for everyone. But in the end, it is for us to make the world a better place for all of us." General MacArthur said that the soldier, above all others, pays for peace. It is a soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. General VANG Powell stands among our leaders. His love for freedom and passion for the Hmong runs strong down the ranks of his soldiers. He was a true leader for democracy. Even as an elite general, he never forgot where he came from. He never strayed from his values and passion for helping others. He gave money to the poor, he fed the hungry, he built schools for children, and he made every effort possible to rescue those misplaced by war. His efforts made an immediate difference in the countless lives, but ultimately laid the framework for the next generation of Hmong to be the most educated and the most successful. He said, "If I die, don't die with me. Always keep your heads held high. Always follow your dreams. Keep loving the Hmong people. And if you keep my dreams for the Hmong alive, I will always be with you." I know that General VANG Powell today would be so very proud of all of you. They would be so very proud of the Hmong and what you have achieved over the last 40 years.
State Senator, je Trustee Hadia. Bên của nhau kể bên của nhau kể ya to một số kể sẵn là cho tự diễn trì cho phụ tô cho quả tàu một số xe thiên trong trà cho một cái thái đại à sẵn cho số kể vào mẹ trong cái bên đó ok bên một chỉ là không bao bỏ 被门诊贴筛选还的，错错都忙要叫我都找，我到我找我查我做事啊，这么高，路人也抽了，路老爷里头13天整天去搞，我有我东西你看，叫了为好给要接，天后找叫我都找，要我都找我包。你要一直健身就不好的，一两两的，老牛要找路点对了，要么一考黑碰着，考黑碰到，只操人速度也不能我做给走，这是头个，别要了么要 OK， 搞路点对了，你容车好不是？你知道，莫搞这还的。trong phố tú trò và ta thổ lò lối thề và một số xe cho trà thiết cho cái nhiều xe cho là mỗi họ cái gì kia và những họ cái sau cái xa thì chỉ là phong lạc bỏ và sở cái đợt bên của thời cho nếu như ít tuổi này một số cái gì phải một lúc sáng đấy lúc mong cho tụ giờ tôi thấy cho một giờ chỉ hai cho không tôi cho sự thế thì nếu cũng lúc cho chỉ hai đứa một tụ lo ta đây là xin là có những và có những hành gì sau giờ cho họ thì mới lọt được rồi thiết chỉ cho sản xe cho đây là của bây giờ ít chữ mua em được rồi rồi xin là có và có những họ rồi những ít chữ mua nhiều mua rau mỏ cho nên rồi gì chỉ hai cho mua là nhập luôn, chỉ ta lên ta được tàu chờ chỉ cần là cho tên mình tôi nhiều, còn lấy một cái gì, nếu họ bắt đầu thiết giờ, giờ nếu chỉ xem những tôi năng từ, nếu cho cháu xe, với tôi năng khó, sợ chế tới chế năng ho, chỉ hai lúc này nhận thầu lò sư, thì xin những chúng một cái xe hàng nhà. Lúc này giờ ở đây là cho tôi xài lúa là dùng một số cái gì phải cần nó cần đợi một xe thì dùng xe giờ đặt thôi nếu hai gì hai gì giờ cũng to chỉ sáu to là đủ cha ta học của xe giờ mình cho số cái một số lúcอยู่trên nềnห้องยัง还得个客户做给我说，做给我说有件事，给你要让大家每一起去看。你要一做给我工程，照着错来错度，还得被有了要照着看的，看到了，你也要为做给容的。好走，要被要能走，这是头个。bây giờ nhau là một công ok sau lúc tu thiên sai đi trên đường theo lò họ lo một số anh đã sẽ hỗ trợ
This is a proclamation from the office of the governor. The governor really wanted to be here today, but somebody put in the schedule that he was going to be out of state. He's supposed to get back in tonight, but unfortunately we planned this for today, so it's all works out. And I know that he was so proud a year ago when he signed this law to become reality going into the future that every May 14 we celebrate that Hmong Veterans Day. Whereas during the Vietnam War, combat the Northern Vietnamese Army and HMONG-LAO forces.
Tiếp theo là proclamation do Governor Iris như Yoyaku Yolomo cho photo cho thì sĩ lý do qua đây là kết quả để thi lệ tôi sẽ tạo sự thì sĩ một cái kinh nghiệm cho để cho số lượng lúc xin được thì bắt lo vậy họ kinh nghiệm cho photo cho giờ lên đó đại proclamation nó cho là một nhận donation là top đó.
Can everybody hear us in back?
Every said here, nhớ cho Việt Nam rồi, Australia Central Intelligence Agency, tiếp theo như cả cho tôi cho lực lượng tàu toa, cha chia, cứ tìm mong năng cha, lòng một ba cho toa cho nhà làm thực tế, cho lúc xưa hơn,
Whereas thousands of Hmong people courageously fought alongside Americans throughout the Vietnam War and facing harsh retribution from the Vietnamese and Lao governments following the war's end. Many were ultimately forced to flee their homeland.
Lúc xưa nữa, bà bố lại nên chỉ hay mong lo, cô tàu là một trong hứa bị cả tờ trả tòa nhé là thực tế. Qua cho sở đời của tàu kê do nhẹ cuốn thọ.
Whereas on May 14, 1975, the last of the Hmong-LAO soldiers and their families fled Laos for the non-Hmong refugee camp in Thailand to later resettle in communities throughout the United States and elsewhere, including Wisconsin. And today, our state is home to a significant number of Hmong-LAO veterans.
Nhất trong lúc xin tôi hoàn thành cộng lo chuyện xin của sẽ đồng chí là của giang rộng cơ trong phút tốt cho là thiết lý tàu sẽ chỉ xe trở chỉ là còn một nhớ trò xa thay tên của nâng thân là tên cho sau đó là lấy xe thiết lý tàu to nhớ trò xa thiết bị cả nó là sẽ cho nên những điều đó là nhớ trò xa của sản sinh cũng trở qua cho cái tin mong nâng ra của giờ cho phút tốt cho.
Whereas in accordance with 2021 Wisconsin Act 31, May 14th for every year is designated as the day to thank Hmong-LAO veterans in Wisconsin for their service and their sacrifice, to recall their accomplishments and encourage schools to include their military service in discussions and curriculums surrounding the Vietnam War.
Trong ốc phản ứng của y nhớ cho Wisconsin xử lý lưu xí lý lưu mà thích gặp lo là cho lưu xong do lưu xong cho là ok nhớ cho bố tốt cho nhớ cho sao Wisconsin nó do cho là cho cái xí cho xí trả một cho xí cho là một ba trong khi mình nhà cho lòng chỉ ta lên đó nhà tổng đây là một lợi do là một ba chỉ khó cho chế cần đó còn lợi là một hiện cho có cho Việt Nam nó cho mình tiêu biểu còn lại quốc gia lúc xưa hay có cho Việt Nam.
And whereas Wisconsin Lao Veterans of America has established chapters throughout our state to serve local communities and educate the public about the contributions of our Hmong-LAO veterans during the Vietnam War. And whereas today the state of Wisconsin joins the Wisconsin Lao Veterans Association, all Wisconsinites, and reflecting on the tremendous and too often overlooked heroism and sacrifice of the Hmong-LAO veterans in our state.
Wisconsin giờ có cho Hmong-LAO là cô tàu mua tàu chapter nhớ cho họ cái chờ đi cả nó nhớ cho họ sao Wisconsin nó chỉ nhớ cho community là nhớ cho lời pha nhớ cho chị cần đó lời mong cho là quấy khó kế cờ sao cho lúc xưa họ có cho Việt Nam là nó hostel Wisconsin của tàu công cho Wisconsin Lao Veterans of America ta cho nên cái đầu sát tích Wisconsin nó lợi do mù sáng gì cho dân là tê ở chị em không lo cho dân là tê hay gì là họ bên lúc rồi nó mua cho tôi cho không lo.
Now therefore, I, Tony Evers, Governor of the great state of Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim May 14, 2022 as HMONG-LAO Veterans Day throughout the state of Wisconsin, and I commend this observance to all of our state residents. Signed at the Capitol by the Honorable Governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers.
Cú Tony Evers, ở dân Governor nhất là hồ state Wisconsin nó, cú trong xe, yếu mua lưu chi được mà thì có bao nó là với họ kỳ nhỏ, sẵn sàng dòng của tôi cho. Sau về là được Tony Evers.
I'd like to present this to you.
Good morning, all my fellow veterans. First of all, I would like to say thank you for Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers and signed bill for us last year, and today he visited. So he run by the proclamation and everything get to us in honor our veterans this time. And also, I would like to thank you for my state senator, Joe Presky, and past leader is a representative of Wisconsin State. And also, a lot of legislature and state Wisconsin government and my friends in Vietnam veteran and American Legion. I saw there's somebody here today, and also my honors and mayor, includes your voice and driver, more than 2 hours to drive us today. And also my friends there. A lot of friends are here today. I very appreciate that. Very great honors for General Wang Pao's son. His name is Chi Wang. He applies from California to join us today. Yeah, thank you, Brother Chi Hmong Council here and also everybody here. Okay, let me speak a couple words. Nó là vậy nó chưa sẵn sàng là giờ nó mình có lo nên cho những bao là ít cho tụi nó sống sài cái chẳng mong thì xin cái chân tông ở cơn của thế này cũng là có những hành trình thế lúc mình có lo là những chuyện trên cơn của cái cho lúc xưa và ta là con chia chuyện đây nhỉ cho xe thì gia cơ lúc nhung gia cơ lúc trên tôi trở lại thế còn là đấy có cái chỉ là có là có tu qua sau đó hai thì lúc đó giờ lúc công ty cũng chờ cùng một việc cùng một đời và chân này giờ ta là con chỉ xe chỉ cho để cho colonel chỉ cho công đoàn chỉ cho bên cho này lên quân đà bên số nhung trên
ต่อถ้าตัวอเมริกันแต่ตาเสียงชาจุดชี้ตัวที่ร้องเลยเจอเป็นตัวตาพิจิตรตัวยังเจอทีนี้พอชื่อที่เจอนะว่า no ชิมุจโอเคถ้าเราคนเราหายวิญญาณจะถ่ายเราผู้เดียวก็จีก็เจ็บจีเสียจียาก็จิตตาไอ้เจ็บเป็นสู้ช่วยจะเจ็บความเอาจีตัวสู้ชาลูกอินทอนได้ถ้ามีเราชื่อยังที่เราชื่อเป็นเราชื่อถ้าจะมันกันเขาเลยแต่เจริญคือเขาเชื่อเราจะเป็นจีจงตาเจ็บเสียเป็นดีเขาเต็มยิ่งเจอนะผู้รู้ภาษาเจถ้าเราเจ็บเพศนู่นเจแล้วบ้านนั้นเป็นสตาเป็นชิตามาที่จะผ่านเราดูหลานมาใจเรามาได้เสียถ้าเราคนตัวหายเอามาปวดชงเอาเชียปลอเชียชีกันมาก็ตัวในหลวงชงเอลมาดิมัวนะเขาในเขาเจ็บเจ็บตัวหายละหายเทียยาลานู่นแล้วแต่เอาเชียชีปวดตรงนี้ใส่งอนนู่นเลยจะอเมริกันผู้จอมอเมริกันแล้วแต่ละอย่าลูกเป็นตัวที่หนึ่งช่วยชงที่จะประชาชนเป็นแล้วทุกมุนนู่นแต่วันนู้น national day จะเวียดนามเป็นที่นี้นี่มันเข้ากันไม่ได้อยู่แต่เปล่าที่จะได้เราเนี่ยจึงเกินเราเนี่ยตัวเป็นนู่นนั่นไอ้จะได้จะสิไปตัวต่อเลยจะเป็นยังชีดินามได้ยากแต่ได้เป็นมาช่วยเนี่ยนู่นจะยังอยู่นู่นมันจะตัวต่อนู่นนั่นยังนู่นอะไรอยู่รอดก็ยังมีสุดท้ายจะขนาดแค่ไม่ใช่พอเรียนสื่อเนี่ยจะจะพอละไรจังก็จะพอละเชื่อละข้าวมันจะละเนี่ยที่ไอ้ยังจะเจอเนี่ยขณะที่วันนั้นคนเราพอจบกันก่อนที่จะตอนนั้นมันได้ก็คนนั้นได้เนี่ยพวกมันก็เสร็จที่จบกันก่อนเนี่ยชิมวันนี้จะได้ยังที่เนี่ยที่เชื่อนั่นท่านคนจบจบไปต่อจะไปยังปีมันไปจับก็จบเรียกว่ามันจะผลมันจะเรามันจะได้ชิมเนี่ยจะขณะที่เขาจากในเชื่อจะได้จะไปมาหมากว่าเป็นน้องนั่นวันนี้เชื่อจบเชื่อจบแล้วจบแล้วจบเตยมีผู้ชนหนึ่งตัวนี่เชื่อมันเกี่ยวกับเตยจะมาเป็นเสียในของอะไรอย่าจะกำมั่นเราบอกที่จะเป็นจะหนึ่งสิ่งจงเกิดแล้วคุณจะมีการคุณรู้คุณจะเป็นช่วยจงบอกจากเป็นช่วยเป็นผลจากหนังสือจะมีตาที่อยากจะเป็นช่วยเจอเกิดจะคงยืนที่เฉยเนี่ยจะจะเป็นมาหมากว่าโมเนี่ยจะช่วยเป็นเจอตัวเจอตัวเพียงเขาคนนึงจนได้นำมาเป็นประจำเลยว่ากี่แล้วสมุทรตั้งแต่ตอนเราเมื่อเขาอาเขาจะเราว่าเป็นดูอะไรอย่างนี้เขาเซ็กชันนั้นดีแล้วพอเราจะไปมาเป็นจันเจ้าอย่างนั้นมาเป็นที่มุมเนี่ยขี้เขาต่อที่ว่าเจอเราว่าอย่างนั้นส่วนมั่งบริสุทธิ์สมมติจอดแต่การมาเราจงเกิดบริสุทธิ์เราจากนั้นเนี่ยมันขี้เขาเจอต่อที่นั่นกับทุกเจ้าเนี่ยเราจะจะเขาต่อที่ไปยังเป็นอย่างเราเชื่อกับเขาต่อการจงเราเป็นที่นั่นขณะเคยบริสุทธิ์แล้วจะอีหลอนที่ชาวตาเราชี้ตัววันที่ก็เพราะการใส่เจ้าเป็นใจจะมีแอปเราอยู่จะนำชื่อที่อยากเราสเตนที่อยากเราสเตนคอนเวนชั่นเราเลยจะเป็นที่สี่เจ้าเราเป็นหมู่ที่ชาวเรารู้ตัวในตัวที่ก่อนมีทำในว่ากี่อันนี้เชื่อต้องของเป็นว่านั่นเดี๋ยวจะชอบกันแล้วจะว่าจะพัฒนาว่าได้ confirmation เพื่อหาเราจะใจกับเป็นหมู่เราของเราจะมีแอปเราไปอยู่เคลียร์เนี่ยยังก็จะเลยจากที่ตัววิวจะเที่ยวว่าเราจะแล้วเมื่อก่อนเราสกูตัวกูเดี๋ยวกูโดไปชิมช่วยเราเขียนตามนี้ได้เมื่อเช้เป็นหมู่ที่เป็นเราจะไปแอปเราอยู่เดี๋ยวแล้วเมื่อของชี้เราตั้งอยู่เป็นไงไปจำหมู่ของเราเที่ยเดี๋ยวต่อไปจะสู้เราหนุ่มเดี๋ยวแล้วหนุ่มจะไปที่จะเป็นตรงเตะแล้วหนุ่มจะจะเวียดนามเดี๋ยวเราจะไม่แข่งเตะยิ่งที่ออโต้ล็อกก็จะนั่นแต่จะเริ่มที่เราถ่ายนี่นั่งเดี๋ยวจะจะเป็นตอนเขียนสกูเดี๋ยววันที่หนึ่งของเราไปเจอตอนหมู่ใดเที่ยตอนนี้เราสกูนั่นเป็นอาจจะเที่ยจะเนี่ยเบี้ยเสียหัวฉีดที่เป็นหมู่นั้นจะสู้เดี๋ยวแล้วกูต่อไปเราเกินเราแล้วจีนจีฟ้าเดี๋ยวจะเป็นตัวที่จะนั้นเดี๋ยวเราจีบพ่อเดี๋ยวไปยังป้าก็จะทำอะไรนั่นเองที่เราใช้เราแล้วเราจะเป็นผ่านไปที่นี่เราได้เจอพิธีเราเขียนนะเขียนในเชิงโพลิดาไปเชิงเราจะเป็นอย่างพอเดี๋ยวเราหนุ่มกันว่าจะเป็นที่นี่ที่เราพอเราได้จะเป็นอย่างคิดถึงที่นี่เที่ยกูว่าเขาเนี่ยเที่ยจึงจะไปยังสิ่งที่จะเนี่ยถูกมอเชียป้าเป็นอะไรเที่ยว่าแพทย์นั่นเนี่ยเขาเราเป็นสิ่งที่เขาเอาตัวนั้นเดี๋ยวเราจะจุดจงนาทีที่เราจะเนี่ยมันจะเป็นที่เราจะหลายอย่างเที่ยขณะยังเขาเนี่ยพอเราเจอเราวันนี้เจอเราหนุ่มเชื่อตัวนั่นเที่ยว่าเราเกิดว่าผู้หญิงเที่ย xóa xong cái này bỏ lọt chúng tôi à sử dụng là chỉ là qua lúc phải nhắc cái này chỉ là họ trong nhiều là nó chỉ tiếp cận cứ chỉ đến tua thì chỉ từ là tôi nghe thấy là mình tu thì nghe thấy là chuyện này phải làm thử này phải làm thử theo chuyện này giờ nghe phải từ này phải từ cho nghe phải từ bắt tài cái này bỏ nhưng thực tế thì nó chỉ là cả thì phải tu xóa xong mà lấy cả phải làm theo cái này tôi cho là cả phải làm chi tôi cho là đó là giá cả là nó là chỉ cả này khi này quyền bỏ này là như cho nó rồi cái tôi đi bỏ thì như là giờ con này phải chuyển cái trường gọi và cái chuyện cái này giờ đi chơi vào với tôi đi chơi này ok yeah cho bỏ ra vào là sẽ lên đi chơi cho tụ của thằng nó sẽ béo biết tôi thì sẽ là thằng mình ta chỉ đi sát đường mà ta là nhà của nhà cỏ nói là trong nó sẽ cái lò ba trong ba là thế là khu bên cái chi tiết của ta tôi muốn cho muốn trả của lúc tiên trời tôi ta là tên chủ đi ban được tua tên chủ đi tên chủ đi chùa tua tên trời nào để lúc này có đó là cho cái như thế này để cũng biết là nằm một cái một tòa để lúc chẳng còn già nó họ vấn đề lúc còn già nữa để thì mà mấy người đi lên mặt qua thì biết cho thì biết lúc nào nào chỉ là thứ hai thứ ba thì chỉ một trò lúc còn già để biết mong cho năm từ năm mong một chút có trò lúc mấy người chơi này để cho nó biết phải dùng cờ thì lúc nào biết cho nó cũng được tên là ví dụ lúc ba qua thiên gà nó cũng giờ nó thảo nó chỉ cho nó chụp nó nhiều kỳ cái sự nữa cho nó những kho cái là cái gì rồi là để ít là cái này nó sắp sửa trả cái ba bây giờ mới cho nó cho bây giờ lúc cho nó tên là nó sẽ nó dùng nó học là có xe là tôi chọn cho rồi bây giờ chọn trong lần cái này thế này để nó sẽ cho nó tập.
By show of hands, how many of you have been to the Wisconsin Veterans Museum before? For those of you who haven't, it's literally right across the square. If you don't go today, please do come back and see us. The Wisconsin Veterans Museum, which I have the great honor and privilege of being the director of, was founded in 1901, actually here in this building, and it was founded by Civil War veterans for Wisconsin veterans, for Wisconsin-connected veterans, and for the people of Wisconsin. So even though I'm the director of the museum, it is your museum. So when you go over there are three things that I want you to walk away with, or if nothing else, you walk away with. We tell the story of Wisconsin veterans from 1861 to the present, and the three key points that we make. Every veteran is a story, no matter who you are, no matter when you serve, no matter what branch. It's worthy of remembrance, it's worthy of respect. Second, Wisconsin was there. Most people may know a lot of historical events. Some, like the Secret War, may not be as well known as they should be. But nonetheless, Wisconsin was there. And then the third thing is, this still matters. If you want to understand the world, if you want to understand our state today, you have to understand this history. And so I encourage all of you to go on over and see us. We're open until 5 today. And we do carry a lot of things in the gift shop. I do have to throw that in there, I'm sorry. Including a lot of Vietnam veterans items as well. Every veteran is a story, as I just mentioned, is one of our guiding principles. And we exist to ensure that those stories are preserved for all Wisconsin veterans. From the Civil War to the present day. Where we learn most about the humanity behind our military history is in the service of regular men and women who answer the call, just like you in this room today. The Veterans Museum, and many of you may not know this, is fortunate to have the third largest collection of world histories in the entire country. This is an asset for the state and for the entire nation as well. And there's no better way to understand service than by hearing the stories shared by those who experienced it in their own words. The Hmong warrior stories have a prominent place in our gallery and in our collection. All you got to do is go find our Vietnam War section and you'll see what I mean. Through video interviews, in their own words and in their native tongue, Hmong veterans explain their unique experiences of the war to our visitors. The vivid accounts of the physical and emotional pain they endured, coupled with explanations of how they meticulously carried out their duties, stand forever as a testament to the Hmong's courage and loyalty during the Secret War. Myself and my staff are honored to be entrusted with the Hmong veteran stories and will continue to amplify the Hmong service through on-site exhibits, access to oral histories on our website, which are up there right now if you want to check them out, and through social media. And And I invite you to explore those stories, and please do come and see us, and do not be strangers at all. And lastly, before I close, I do want to say a quick word about Jerry Petrowski. As a Polish American myself, I'm not at all surprised that a Polish American senator championed the Hmong cause, because we Poles understand what it is to escape oppression, come to the United States, and build a new life when you can't go home. And so, Jerzy, bardzo dziękuję. Thank you very much for what you have done for these veterans and for all Wisconsin veterans. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me today. Please do come and see us at the museum. As I mentioned, it is your museum as much as anybody else's. And thank you very much for having me today. Thank you.
First of all, I'm so delighted and be honored to be part of this ceremony. The ceremony of the HMONG-LAO veterans. The 14th May, just a regular, what do you call, normal day for most of our people in the state of Wisconsin. But to a group of people like the Hmong-LAO, it's a precious day for us to celebrate. I don't want to repeat what the General Son has said, but what I try to say is that the 14th of May is to reflect most of our mind today. I was there at the airport in Laos when the general fly away. And most of our veterans here, I believe that they're just coming from the battlefield. Some of them just laid out their weapons and followed the general to Thailand. So it's a reflection of our new life in the United States. Under the leadership of the late Paramount leader, General Wang, we, the Hmong people, just like Mr. Vang mentioned earlier, that be part of the strong ally of the United States back in Laos. We fought not just the Vietnamese and the Patella, but the Communist bloc, the Soviet Union, the Eastern Bloc, particularly the Cuban down here, down south. Chinese, and the Eastern Bloc, and particularly Chinese, is still under the communists. And like Mr. Wang mentioned earlier, that we, the Hmong people, partner with the United States, we contain the expansion of communists in Southeast Asia. We stopped at the border of Thailand. Unfortunately, we, because of the global politics, we don't want to just seize our white. And like Mr. I just want to repeat, but like Mr. Wang said earlier, that we, the Hmong, 47 years ago, airlift the Hmong to Thailand. Unbelievable. A culture of slash and burn, a culture of bow hunting, become an ally of the United States. That's why our Hmong leader, General Wang, keep mentioning that we are lucky to be part of the United States. We are lucky to live in the most powerful or the superpower country in the world. So that's why he encouraged us, the younger generation, to go to school. And I'm one of them. So
study. Like I mentioned earlier, that we just coming from the scientific culture and non-education, like Mr. Vang mentioned earlier, that General Kao just set up school, and those teachers are his soldiers. Some of them still sit here. Now we come to America, and most of our young generation graduate from the most precious university. Some of them graduate from Harvard, Stanford, Brown, for education. And some of them are young men graduate from West Point and become a military leader. And most of our young generation still fought in the Middle East. So thank you to the veterans. Thank you to our veterans. Thank you to the United States. And like I mentioned earlier, sorry, that I cannot volunteer that the 14th of May changed our life. The 14th of May changed everyone's life, particularly the Hmong people. The general showed his eagerness to help his people. He fought, and he's the last one to fly out of Laos, fly out of his battlefield, not from a military helicopter, but just from just some kind of helicopter, small helicopter. He risked his life to take the Hmong people to America. That's why, on his last breath, I visited him in hospital in Clovis, California. He said, "Son, keep watching those youngsters. I will be home a couple of days from now. Come back to Santa Ana. We'll talk about the future of the younger generation." After that, a couple of days, the general passed. Anyway, we still hold on to that. And now the Hmong, the younger generation particularly, focus on education. And we have those graduating from the university, not just few, but hundreds of thousands, get their bachelor, master, and doctorate degree. Everybody keep on keeping the general's legacy. And that's why everyone keep working on education. Education is the key to prosperity. This general's word. And everyone just keep on his legacy and become a good citizen of the United States. The veterans, to us, is part of our life, not just in America, but veterans, the Hmong veterans live across the globe. Some of them resettled in France, Australia, Canada, and other part of the world. But it's still part of the veterans. They are dying down. We don't have much to live. So thank you to those veterans. Thank you. And thank you all. They're working together side by side with the Hmong veterans. And please remember that the 14th of May is not, like the President said, it's not
a bad day for the Hmong people. Like most of those criticize that the May 14th is not a good day for the Hmong to celebrate. But to us, the veterans, particularly the leadership, May the 14th is a stepping stone for the Hmong people. So keep that in mind, and thank you, the state of Wisconsin, that give us the proclamation to keep the 14th of May alive for generations to come. And thank you.
Good morning. We've still got a couple minutes this morning left. My name is John Schultz. I am not a politician. I am a veteran. I'm a tax-paying veteran from Junction City, Wisconsin. I think, Mayor, you know where I'm talking about. I have the absolute tribute to be here today to address you, the Hmong veterans, and thank you. Because every morning when I get up and I put my feet on the ground and I realize I'm alive, I owe my life to you. In January of 1967, this young man arrived in Vietnam and became a team member of Alpha 572, Special Forces Unit, a Green Beret unit, based out of NKAAJ. A couple of months later, we get into the month of May. Our team was called to go play coup, get on a couple of helicopters, take along 12 of our Hmong sidekicks, the people we worked with, and the ones that taught us so much, and head west out near the border to stop a group of North Vietnamese from going farther north along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Once we flew and got into our area and started to pursue the trail of these North Vietnamese, we realized our mission was about to come to a stop because we were coming close to the border. About a half mile down the road when we realized this, Captain Anderson, our team chief, the one and only that had the map, all of a sudden happened to trip and fall and fell on his mat as he's laying there in the jungle floor. "Don't touch me," he said. "My back hurts." Holy cow, what are we going to do now? He looked at our senior NCO and says, "I want you to leave one of these Hmong-LAO with me, and I want you to take the rest. Continue with the mission. I will stay here. You will find me on the way back." We did. We moved on. About a day and a half later, we came up with this group of North Vietnamese up in the hillsides. We not only took care of them, but we recovered 3 American Army pilots that were being taken north to North Vietnam. And we rescued them. And that was the unspoken mission. The Hmong-LAO led us back out of that area that we were in, got us back into where Captain Anderson was, and there was Captain Anderson sitting up against the tree, smoking a cigarette, eating a can of MRE and a can of C's. "I see you got the mission accomplished." Yes, we did. We did not know it, but we were in foreign country. We were not supposed to be there. But because of the Hmong-LAO, we not only took care of the North Vietnamese, but we recovered those pilots. When we got back to play coup, back to our area, and started to separate, and we wanted to have a special thank you to those, our Hmong-LAO, that stood next to us. And in their tradition, their honesty, their respect, all of a sudden they just melted off to the side, and we never saw them again. We never got the chance to say thank you. But that opportunity, those 2 weeks that we were out there on that mission, where we stood together and we worked together, is just as strong as those 2 flags standing side by side today. To each and every one of you, Hmong-LAO veterans, I say thank you. I owe my life to you. My children, my wife, owe our lives to you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Rathke. I will be the Veterans of Foreign Wars State Commander from 22-23 when our convention convenes next month. On behalf of the current State Commander, Corey Geisler, and over 25,000 veterans of our organization and 85,000 auxiliary members, I am privileged and honored to be here at the Hmong-LAO veterans who live in the state as citizens of America. As a very young girl growing up in the U.S., I learned of the War of Vietnam by watching Walter Cronkite, believe that or not. It was the very first war that was newscast on television in near real time. I looked up to our older than me, but young men and women who were drafted out of the high school to be sent to basic training, advanced training, and then assigned to military units in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. And then they were shipped off to a distant land on the other side of the big world. 58,220 troops died in the service to our country during this conflict. 8 of them were women. Over 1,200 were from Wisconsin. The Vietnam was a tragedy we all bore. We celebrate and honor and take care of our Vietnam veterans in this state. Governor Evers proclaiming the 14th of May as Hmong-LAO Veterans Day is the first step in full recognition of our indigenous fighters that fought a secret war in Laos. Partisan to the U.S. troops and faced persecution, I knew I was going to mess that word up, after the United States left Southeast Asia. Wisconsin VFW will honor our Wisconsin-Lao Veterans of America during our state convention on June 10th, which is my birthday, at the Potawatomi at 9 o'clock. We hope so many of you will be there. United States Air Force Major General retired John Borling will be our keynote speaker. He and our state commander will recognize and honor the WLVA, members in front of our membership, and to many of the veterans organization in attendance. I humbly say thank you to all gathered today that fought this war in Southeast Asia, and welcome home. Thank you.
We are Michelle Reddy. Tiếp we have to Josh Reddy. Look on how. Veteran Foreign War Departments, Yataho, Wisconsin. City Shamo Panama, Central Shamo Panama, Benham. Gary, Yosler, Shirky, Yahitu Tekya, the look on how. Tutra, Yataho, State. 我们中里的能够去爬，要叫不都叫，要好背了更好，要我一爬起过，要叫能那个叫 auxiliary members， 我要叫能我不写的个，多么把个贴层啊，故上写儿子，别叫不都叫，我天跑我到多，找路的去了，天到了我。 一家被省上称啊，都得行个。有一个人才，我有一个人才，我到了好，你找路得行个了。我个早搞这上面啦，要晒，要啥事，要找好体力。路线的不晒，我找家东菜，我了这个 high school 的，我找空，我有，我找到这个 sau khi một trò tao phát là cửa yên đó là cũng cho sao một trò tê cái giả theo phái một trò cho tê là lúc cho Syria Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, theo Coast Guard là cũng cho sao một trò lúc tê chờ qua là chỉ tao bỏ theo bóng giờ nhớ trong con trò trong đó tan trò kéo lên lên của tao ta lúc nãy ra xe yang một chiếc chân dịp hảo của những người lên vì nhau ra kinh tế thái thế ra cái sự học sinh cho lúc xe này cho nhau học Wisconsin của tao ta chỉ nhận ra xe cho con trò trong đó yang một dịp hảo của lên con trò trong Việt Nam yang đi con trò trong họ xí của trò là xe đời dễ thế ra xe lúc lòn đầu nhớ cho họ State Wisconsin cáiตัวก่อนโอเคนู่นยังมาช่วยยอเทียบชวนซะจะพูดตัวตุเซนชี Governor Evans more นู่นก็บล็อกจะลุชีดีดูเราโอเคยังจะพูดตัวมองบล็อกโอ้ยถ้าก็จั่วยังจะตุเซนชีว่าต่อมอจะมาชามอจะเชียร์แค่มอนะชาจะเราโมเชิญที่ไทยก็ Secret War nhớ cho đã mà lúc xưa là nhà ba cho tôi cho mình cả thầu cơ số lần số từ thì tàu ra kiện và xí nhớ chỉ tàu thì tàu thiệt ở trên trời tôi muốn nhớ cho cái gì cả nào Wisconsin VFW yếu một cái từ thiết cho sao Wisconsin là Hmong Veterans of America cho lúc công trình cho đến tớiวันที่เขาชอบพันธุ์อ๋อยกตัวต่อเต้นเอาnhớ cho họ là bọn mình lúc xưaยังเขาจะมุ่งยังsinh đó bên củaที่จะเชื่อที่นี่เชื่อphần trong được có công tàu cho lúc nào kia khi trong nàyเชื่อบอกจะให้เดีย United States Air Force Major General นึกว่าเราลองชอบเขาเลยล่ะที่ชื่อJohn Borley ยอดเอาว่าเดี๋ยวยังตัวมั่วเราตัวมั่วรู้เราเชื่อยังเราเชื่อเลย John เทียนตัว State Commander ยอดเรามั่วเกี่ยวกับเทียนมั่วเส้นชีจะพูดถึงมองเราเทียนจะพูดเทียนยอดเราดีเจดีมั่วเราสอนเราคนเขาว่าตัวมุสลิมเทียนตัวของเราทั้งหลายถ้าเกิดกูสาให้ยาให้เดียนู่นน่ะกูเชื่อที่เขาเกี่ยวกับเชื่อเราชีดูเชื่อที่ชีเขาให้วัชเจ้าเชื่อเราตัวกงยาโอเคเทียนซะก็เจ้ายาเจ้าสาวดีเสียจงเชื่อเขาจะเชื่อเทียนจงเชื่อให้เชื่อกูเราสามารถเชื่อวัชbây giờ sau đấy giờ được bây giờ cho tôi thẳng đó là mà cái sự kiện tôi thẳng thắn rồi thì bây giờ chú sĩ thank you so much for the opportunity and good afternoon. I would say good afternoon, right? Okay. Today is very meaningful to my people. I did prepare a speech, but everybody had talk about. So today I will talk about my own history or my own experience about the Vietnam War. I will make it short, but please be patient and just take whatever you learn. I remember when I was young, I was 3 years old in 1970. The war is getting very heavy, so we have to relocate, and we cannot move during the day because we're gonna get killed. So we have to move at night. And at that time, even I was only 3 years old. One thing I remember exactly, today I still remember exactly how I felt at that night.
Because I wish that the earth, the world is peace, so I can sleep. So I don't have to get up at night and keep moving. And I mentioned that was 1970. And I have to move place to place until 1975 for the 5 years. We cannot have a house for a year. Well, we always move place to place. And after the communistic control, we moved to Thailand in the camp. If you don't know how our life in the camp, then you go to the rancher and you will see they have an electric wire to make sure that the animal don't get up on their territory or their property. And we live like that. But the difference is that if we go out, we might get a bullet in our head or in our heart. In Thailand, I do speak a little English, so I was an interpreter back in Thailand in the refugee camp. And one day I remember what a young Hmong lady or young Hmong girl passed away. And maybe due to sexual assault or something that she decided to kill herself. So there was a little investigation, and I was the one who went to the place that they put refugee who doesn't have a place to bury. And when I got there, I do see like 10 people in a bunker. Someone's already rotted. I only see the bone. Someone I still see the rotted body. And someone was very fresh, like they just died yesterday. It's in the same bunker. And they just wait until everybody's rotted and they'll come to wash it and clean the bones. We don't know where they go. And I don't have peace until last year. Last year, this day, last year, outside at the east of this building, that governor totally ever signed a bill and recognized that today is Hmong Veteran Day. And they lowered the flag, our American flag. And it made my tears come out. But one more thing. One thing I want to mention is that if I have to count my Hmong and Lao veteran, I can use my finger. I know everybody's name. You know why? Not many left. Only this year. Only this year, I have to make 5 remarks at a Hmong veteran funeral. So sooner or later, whatever we say today will become history. And who will know? Who will know that we, the Hmong people, haven't fought a very great war? Who will know? The only thing we will preserve or our children will know is we have to put whatever we say today into the book and give it to the history, and they can teach out in the class so our Hmong people, the children, our American people will know our history. We cannot just let whatever happened today, yesterday, or 47 years ago, just go like a wind blow. keep it. It's beautiful. I know it's tough, it's hard, but it's part of our American culture, part of our American history. Many people come here without hope. Many people come here with family, but many people come here with nothing, nobody. For example, I come here. My dad died in the Vietnam War. I left my parents, I left my mom, my brother, my sister, and my half-brother back in Laos. I came here by myself. So, I would like to encourage that we don't let it die today or down today. Or I don't want every year we come to tell us or tell people about us. We want us to be in a book and someone will teach our kids that our history will live forever. Even though we're going to have to go, but I want our history to live forever. Best